Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Before I get into it, I just want to apologise for not putting out some content. I've been suffering with migraines due to not being able to sleep properly. It's very well known that I'm not a great sleeper. I've always been that way, so one of those things. But I've got another episode of Can I Make 20%? I will go through some coins I bought also on this lot because I think they're kind of cool and you would have not seen them from me. So I bought a lot that had, I'm going to have to read this out because I genuinely don't know the coins. So this is a Charles I half crown. I've had this one before. That's a nice coin. The one I had, I'd say, was probably nicer, but not on this side. There is a French Charles VI. They've just given me dates, so 1389 to 1422. And there is a half groat Henry VI. Crazy old coins. I'm in them for 150. I thought it was a bit of a bargain, to be honest, but I don't really know the sector. Right, let's get into this. So this is going to take probably 20 to 30 minutes. So for those of you who've got the time, then buckle up. And for those of you that don't, that's fair enough. I've written it down. I'm in it for 202.50. I need 162.21 grams of silver to break even, although there is some euros in there, I can see them. I didn't see them when I ordered it, so that's a bonus. For 20% profit, I need 194.65 grams of silver on today's spot price of 131. So for those of you who haven't been watching this series, I like to put the copper to one side. I want to profit completely on the silver and keep the copper as a storage value elsewhere. On this one, I've also been gifted a very nice and old pencil sharpener. Fantastic. All right, let's get into it. So let's take out the copper first. I have put the pots down accordingly. Oh, by the way, there was a small bundle of silver they put separately. I've not mixed it in because what's the point of mixing it just to resort it? Let's see how we do. I know there is silver in here. You can see straight away there's silver. There's quite a lot of silver, I think, as well. That's nice. This is also silver. This is 8.33 Egyptian. So let's take the copper out. I do like doing these lots. I wasn't planning on doing 3 in a row. That's just how the cookie crumbled. It's a lot easier to kind of go through coins when you're not feeling well than it is to sit in front of the camera and talk about a topic that can get quite convoluted. It's not always easy. So crown, that's worth a bit of money. Not a lot, but a bit. What I don't want to see is threepences. Oh, these are the bane of my life. I reckon I've got thousands of these. Old 10p, take that. Bit of silver. Another bit of silver. Alright, the threepences I'm just going to put in a separate pot. Another bit of silver. It would make my day if I could pull out a 20% on this. Anything over 20% and we're absolutely laughing. But I never know until I've gone through it. Sometimes it can be deceiving. Last time, I didn't think I'd get it, and I pulled out a 67% margin. And I forgot to include some bits on that as well. That's silver. That's a nice little find, that. I did very, very well last time. But it's not always like that. The thing is, for every great success you have, you've also got non-successes. 42, fantastic. That's not going to be silver because it's Queen Elizabeth. But like I always say, I take the risk, so I take the reward, but I also take the losses when they occur. That's kind of cool. Don't know anything about it. Let's see if it'll focus. Don't know anything about that, but that's nice. $48. Lots of copper coins in here. Okay, Take that. That's probably worth 10, 15 quid. That's a huge one in my eyes. I had a load of them, I was building them up, and it just, I got to the point, I was like, I just need to sell bits. I've got so many odds and sods. That's cool. Canada, maybe? I think, yeah, Canada. I had so many odds and sods, I just had to get rid of them. Take those. You can still swap those out for euros. It's 13 to a euro. Euro cents. Bringing out lots of copper, which I really don't mind. I think I'm up to about 80 kilos before this lot. If I can add a couple of kilos here, there might be a couple of kilos, there might not be. All right, let's get rid of that brass threepence. I was having a chat with my mother about this. She's like, oh, it's called a joey. I was like, eh. Shouldn't really argue with my mother. The professional versus the person who lived for it. You know. I'll let mum have that one. Right, let's move these in. I'm seeing quite a few euros here. Oh, there's more silver here. Is that silver? Yeah, take that. Is that another one? Yep. What's this? That's Elizabeth. I haven't even made inroads into the bit prior to the camera. Oh, Deutschmark, take that. As you're aware, I love my Deutschmarks. Right, let's go this side. I might push that over. Sixpence. All right, 7 minutes in. If I can redistribute this just for the camera angle more than anything. There was a hell of a lot of coins that come out of it. That's silver. Again, more silver. 22. Take that. I know there's some 18. There's some really, really old silver because I think there's a bull neck coin. One moment, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. Let's see if I can find that. Pre-20. Right, it's becoming quite logistically challenging, and maybe I need to next time do it from a different place. Let's go for the copper. Quite a lot of copper here. I will separate the copper after the fact. Like this stuff, obviously, it doesn't go in the pot. It's pretty much the old pennies that I put in. Another euro there. More copper. There's another Deutschmark. Take that. So that's 2 Deutschmark. Irish 50p, that's worth money. Right, 65. These look like good coins. That's Queen Vic. Sorry, Queen Elizabeth. My apologies. Don't sue me. 47. 46. It's weird seeing them in good condition. Like typically when I get them, they're absolutely battered, which it doesn't matter. I sell them for weight. So 50. Seeing them in nicer condition. Do I think they're worth more? Probably not. They were made in very high order. That's Elizabeth. 21. That'll do. We've pulled out some really, really nice bits here today. I'm feeling fairly confident on this one. And there's going to be lots of excess as well for me to put to one side. It's always a good day. Oh, there's a Queen Victoria there. Some Kuna. Well, I've filled my copper pot already and there's plenty to go. Right. 320. You would have thought that I would have taken all the copper out by now, but that's how much there is. I'm certainly not complaining. €2, take that. If I get the euros on paper for nothing, I'm over the moon. That's cool. It's obviously not 1 cent. If it is, then there's a gap in my knowledge because I've never seen anything like that. That's kind of cool though. Alright, copper pot is now full. I'm going to put this to one side. Never seen one of them before. No idea. Alright, that can go down there. It's always nice when you see coins that are a bit old or something you're not familiar with. I like the old French copper. Some of that's really nice. You can really tell who the dominant powers of that era was just by their coinage. That's a euro cent, take that. Right, I've run out of Right, put them in here. That is absolutely crazy. I filled one of them. I filled it already. I'll try and show you if it will let me. There's probably about a third of a box just in copper. It's a fairly large box. It's an old T2 box before they sadly went out of business. Apparently I had a soft spot for fancy tea. Well, I don't spend my money on much, so can't really complain. I've got a season ticket and I like coins. I think that's my lot, and I go to the pub occasionally. There we are. Can you see it? I'll show you that in a minute. Oh, there's another one of these. I don't really know what that is, to be honest. That's my next door neighbour, by the way. They ordered some furniture and they weren't in earlier, so we kept it in. Stainless steel. This will go in the bin. There's nothing I could do with that. Nice. 90%. So there's more copper here. Still going through it. So again, larger pennies. I'm not really entirely sure what they are. Right. Still more copper. Still more copper. Absolutely loads of stuff. Oh, there's an old pound coin. I could bank that. Bit of silver. So I think this is Bullion. I think this is 0.10, but I will need to check that. Right, copper. Take that. That's a franc. That's worth about 95 pence. There's, just to put in perspective, there's still loads and loads of copper here. Until I get through this, I can't really make heads or tails anything else. So copper, 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 copper. That's a token. Copper, copper. Absolutely loads of it. Right, I think that's all the copper done. I wouldn't be shocked if there's several kilos just of copper, but I need to separate it out between the UK stuff, the international stuff, and the spendable stuff, such as the euros, cents, and whatnot. Tell a lie, there's still a couple more copper coins, but let's kind of get the other coins out of the way. So let's go for the non-silver pre-decimal. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. That I can't do anything with. There's nothing there, there's nothing there. You always hope that there's more silver than not. Cool. Tell you what, that is silver and that is stunning. Is that a candidate for grading? Who knows? I'm going to put that to one side. That is an absolutely beautiful coin. Look at that. Jeez. It's always nice when you get lots in like this, because occasionally it throws up something like that. You never know. You never know what will turn up. That's silver. 10p, take that. There are occasions where you'll literally find gems in the rough, like that coin I've just found. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's worth a lot of money. I don't know. I'll have to have a look into it. You can't know everything all the time. And I think working in the variety that I work in as a coin dealer, the reality is there's some things that I misprice because ultimately you can't know everything, and that's okay. I always try and double check it, but there's always going to be deals to be had when you're working with someone who deals with variety, whether that be me or someone else, because the reality is you can't know everything. You can't specialise in everything. Just trying to 49. So let's check these. That's nothing here. That's okay. Just taking out the frappances. You can see more silver. Take that. I think we're going to be well on to our target here. I think we might, in fact, I think we might smash it on this occasion. If we don't, we don't, but I think it's there. Right. Let's take out. Bear in mind, we've still got this, so I'm just going to do it section by section. I think that's going to be the easiest one. There's a euro, we'll take that. This came in. I knew this was coming in. I could see it in the picture. I don't think anyone's picked it up. This was the coin I was referring to earlier. Very worn, but hey, it all adds up. I think we're well onto our target here. Well onto it. 49, non-silver. Okay, shilling, 50. That go there. You know, I'm going to start filtering these into the actual pots they will go to anyway. So, Deutschmark, Euro, shilling, 10p. Anything that won't really go to the tally, I'll filter off. So that's non-silver. That's kind of cool. Bit of silver there. Kuna. Hong Kong can go in there. Kuna can go in there. Pfennig can go in there. I've got all these different pots as a dealer that I just filter bits into. If it's, I don't consider it valuable, I just put it into a bag. I've just been filtering that out. But anything that is like this, there is future value in it somewhere. Specialist coin dealers will buy them. Again, like this, take them down the bank if you really want, but you've got to be careful of wearing their patience thin. It always depends on who you get as a cashier. Sometimes they can be really nice, sometimes not so much. Take a dime. It's not silver, mind you, but I'll take that. Pfennig, it's worth a bit of money. That's worth a bit of money. 2 cents. Nope, nope. So anything like this, technically you can cash them at the bank. It's whether or not the bank will accept it. Some banks will. I know of people who do cash them in, believe it or not. They're few and far between. It's such a specialist thing to do. I probably should charge people for this information. I won't. It's not in my nature, but there's so many ways you can make. It's nice. You can make money. You know, there's money in anything if you know how to do it. It's just a case of extracting it. That's the problematic thing. Like having a business is not. It's not too difficult. That's non-silver, but that's kind of nice. I got a pot for Dutch coins. I know nothing of these. Right, bit by bit. I think we're slowly running out of the silver, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think we've done okay. Alright, 64, that's an old 5 pence. 67. $51. Take that. Some kunas, some euros. Old 10p. I've got a whole pot of, there's a token. I've got a whole pot of the old 10p's, old 5p's, old 50p's. One day I'll just cash them in. We're certainly getting there. I think the bulk of the silver's been taken out. If memory serves, there is a couple of Dutch coins that I haven't taken out yet, but we shall see. Ah, there's some silver. Australian sixpence. I'm pretty sure that's 925, but I need to double check. I think what I'll do is when I do the numbers, I'll give you a guesstimate on this occasion, because there's a few coins I'm not entirely sure what it is. So I'll just do the British coins. That's silver. Hong Kong, Malta, Kuna, absolutely loads of the pre-decimal. I actually filmed a pre-decimal video prior to this, and then the door went, and then I refilmed it, and then something else happened, and then when I refilmed it again, I didn't put my microphone on, so there was no sound, and I just binned it. I went, no, it's clearly a sign. It's a sign that this video is not going out. It is what it is. It happens like that sometimes. Right, if I can move these bits over so you have some visual. I think we've absolutely smashed it on this, but it's always hit and miss. Like sometimes I look at something and I think I've done incredibly well, and then when the tally comes up, I'm like, what's gone on there? That's crazy. If this runs over 30 minutes, it is what it is. Alright, that's nope. Nothing there. That's Elizabeth. Irish 20p, 50 euro cent, 100 lira. Nope, 50. Nope, nope, nope. Irish 10 pence. So there's nothing there. That's fine. 51, 67. That's Italian. Sure. Right. Oh, that's cool. That's silver. You can tell by the look of it. I'm pretty sure that's 10%. I think it's Bullion. Alright, let's move these. Start moving these. Okay. 1 crown. Fantastic. So, old pence, that's fine. That's new. Cool. See, there's still quite a lot to go through. I still have no idea what these are. Maybe they are the real deal. I don't know. Well, the fact that one's been cut up and one's been hammered to oblivion. I'll have to do some more digging on that. That's part of the fun, isn't it? It's certainly news to me. It's not something that I've personally come across. Okay, there's nothing here. Right. On the home stretch now. That's not silver. That's definitely not silver. Hong Kong dollar. That's not silver. That's fine. Nope. 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 That's copper. Irish. Again. Slowly getting there. That's silver. With the Dutch coins, you can always tell it's silver because it tends to get this patina. Giving away all my secrets, but it's fine. €20 cents, Kuna. Hong Kong dollar, Fennec. Loads of Irish. Absolutely loads of it. Right, they're copper. Right, last stretch. This is literally the dregs of it. Let's go through it. I apologise for it being so long. I think that's testament to how much was here. I'm not complaining. I hope you're not complaining. If you are, then maybe I'm the wrong channel. I do like to babble on a bit. That's okay, you know. It's horses for courses. I don't take it personally. It's like I used to get really frustrated with another well-known YouTuber, and I just come to the conclusion that at the end of the day, he's just doing his thing. Like I'm doing my thing, and it's a preference thing. It's not a personal thing. Don't dislike him. I don't particularly like his content, but that's horses for courses. You know, it's preference. It's fine. Right. Oh, tell a lie. Do you think we've got 200 grams? I think so. I think we've got way more than 200. Way more. And then we've got the odd bits on top. So overall, I think this has been a wonderful purchase. We're going to find out in a minute how well it's done. Cool, another €2. Right, let's quickly go through the euros. It's not really much in terms of the dollars. I think we've got about €6. So Swiss francs. I said recently it was 1-to-1, it was parity. That wasn't true. I thought it was. It's slightly under. Oh, we've got 2 Deutschmarks. So we're at 80 pence. Shillings, I'll take all day, every day. It's 13 shillings to €1. You can still swap them out. Another Deutschmark. Okay. I'm not going to include the old UK bits, but I think we're doing just fine. Right, let's get into the silver. That's what we came for. Move these out the way. That can go there. This will do well. As per usual, I'll sort it into pre-20 versus pre-47. Alright. I'll do it one side to the other, so that's clearly pre-20, pre-47, pre-20, pre-47, pre-47, pre-20. Pre-47, pre-47. That's 0.833, I believe, but I'm not going to include that in the calculation for now. Pre-47, pre-20, pre-47, 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 and another. That's 0.9, pre-20, pre-47, still going. That's all right. I think we've absolutely smashed this one out of the ballpark. think that's a 2. If I'm ever unsure on those, I always put them in the 50% bag. That's definitely pre-20, and this as well. Two. Absolutely loads of it. Right, anything international I'm not going to include in the calculation except for this. Actually, I'm going to leave this one side because I think it's 0.5, but I will double check it. So we've got the Dutch, I think this is 640. It's either 640 or 730. It's one of the two. I think 730 is the French, but I'll double check it. Helvetia, I'm pretty sure these are 10%. Right, so let's get what we all came for. These are the numbers. Paid 212.50. I need 162 and 21 grams of silver, and for me to make 20%, I need 194.65 grams. Let's get into it. So let's not include this. Oh, and also we've got this one here, but I'm not going to include this in the calculation either. I never see him in this condition. I don't really particularly look for him in this condition due to the way I buy, but right. Let's hope the silver gods are smiling on us today. Right. So we've got 181 and 25. So we've got 90 odd grams in that one. I've misplaced my pen, so I'll use the red one. It's fine. Have I dropped it? Nope, misplaced it. Okay, so 0.5, 181.25 grams. So I'm going to do it on the calculator just because it's easier. 181.25 times 0.5. You can divide it by 2 equally. It's the same calculation. So you've got 90.625 grams. Okay. So we need 100 odd grams to hit the 20%. I think we've easily got it. I think it'd be a cakewalk myself. Let's get a bag for the next one. So 0.925. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we've absolutely smashed this one today. So 111.4, let's work that out. So 0.925 times 111.4, 103 grams and 4. So we've got, and that's not including the nice one I showed you and also the international. And it's not including the copper. Oh, look at that. We've got 193. So for argument's sake, let's just say this comes in at 0.6 as a whole. Most of it's higher. There's 45 grams there. And last but not least, we've got all this copper. So I think overall we're probably looking at, dare I say it, I think there's going to be about 50% to 60% profit on this. We've done very well on this one. And we also got a pencil sharpener. Fantastic. Anyway, that's gone on for 40 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's taken way too long, but I'll see you on the next one. Bye.